Hello, this is Chip from 5th Edition Visions, and I'm here to talk about the Magic cards that nobody else talks about on YouTube, or at least for this video I am. So the card I'm looking at today goes with the theme of I was on the hunt for the 1-drop vanilla 1/1 creatures in each color. Okay, so far we found out that there are 3 in all of Magic the Gathering for blue. There's only 1 in all of Magic the Gathering for black. And likewise in green, there's only 1 1/1 vanilla creature in Magic the Gathering. All of Magic the Gathering, out of 25 years of cards being printed, and that card is on your screen right now. It is called Willow Elf. For 1 green, you get a 1/1, and it's an elf. Flavor text, the forest lives in the elf as the elf lives in the forest. Very nice. So why is this significant? Well, let's think about why this card was created. This card is only in 2 expansions, 2 sets, Starter 1999 and Starter 2000. What separates Starter from Portal? Now, Portal was the introductory project that was Portal was the introductory product manufactured by Wizards of the Coast to ease new players into the game of Magic the Gathering. Now, Portal, to do that, they simplified some of the rules. So when you actually learn how to play Portal, you didn't use official Magic the Gathering rules. It was expected that you would eventually graduate to the real game, which had the rules were slightly more complex. When Starter came out in 1999 and 2000, the rules were the same. So the rules for all of the sets of Magic the Gathering were the same, and to make sure that these starter sets were still okay for new players, they just they got rid of some cards. For example, they didn't have artifacts, and they had simple creatures. And so this vanilla creature, 1/1 green vanilla Willow Elf, was created specifically for that, because it doesn't appear anywhere else. Which actually is interesting, because if you look through Gatherer, there are plenty of 1-drop 1/1 green creatures, but they all have some type of ability. They might have evasion, they might have a trigger effect, but many of them have the tap, and then you can get some type of mana or some type of resource. So it's so intuitive for green to have that little extra booster on their cards, on their simple cards, that they actually had to go back in 1999 and 2000 and create this very simple green card, because one simply didn't exist before Starter 1999 and Starter 2000, which is very interesting, because I don't think we will ever see another card like this, simply because this was last made, this is 2017 now, 17 years ago. When they're making new sets, cards are always competing for slots. I really doubt that they would put a slot for another green 1/1 vanilla. The only way they would go around that is if what I was talking about before with some of these cards, is if they had some type of fantastic type of ally trigger or something that went on that design space. Or maybe some type of synergy because of that tribal mechanic. You know, you could make a strong card if it, went off of another card. But I'm sure we won't see Willow Elf reprinted anytime soon, if ever, simply because of its simplicity. But I do think that these cards are interesting, because I do like the vanilla cards, again, simply because they're intuitive for new players. Many new players get into Magic the Gathering through simple cards, and that's how they go. In fact, this was near the end of the list as I was going through Gatherer, Willow Elf, and it was the W, and I was actually thinking, are there really no 1 green, 1/1 vanilla drop creatures in all of Magic the Gathering? I couldn't believe it. But then this came up near the end. But if this didn't go through, I was probably going to put in Scry Sprites, which is a 1/1 1-drop that just has flying. So it's a Willow Elf with flying, and it's a fairy. And I would have put that in simply because it seems simple, with flying the most intuitive, simple mechanic. But also, when I learned how to play Magic the Gathering, and I asked my middle school friend to teach me, and I went over to his house specifically to learn, he played with the green deck, and one of the first creatures he summoned was Scry Sprites, and I thought that was cool. So I always remember that card. So that was one of the simple, intuitive cards for me to learn. So I would have had to put that one in if I hadn't found Willow Elf. But I did find Willow Elf because Wizards of the Coast was kind enough to create Starter 1999 and Starter 2000. Okay, so this is going on about 4.5 minutes. Many of you probably not that interested in these cards, but I think it's fascinating to revisit them from time to time, because they're forgotten. They're cards. They don't have feelings, but they do make up a part of Magic the Gathering history. And I think that's important for us to preserve, even in the MTG YouTube community. So anyway, hey, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hey, have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.